Welcome in, welcome all to another edition of the Gorilla Position Wrestling, the most unprofessional professional wrestling and Fire Pro Wrestling. I, of course, am your host, the Swink Nick Swinky, and we proudly present to you T3, that Trios Tournament 2021, a Trios tournament not only to crown T3 2021 winners, but also the winner of this tournament becomes the inaugural TGPW Trios Champions. 16 teams will compete in this single elimination tournament. And we are splitting this up into 3 separate shows. So make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Make sure that you hit that bell icon down there below the YouTube video to get notifications when the next part of the T3 is dropped. And if you missed last year's T3 tournament, you can watch it on the channel. I'll put an iCard in the description where you can see the iCard and a link in the description of the video, rather. Linking you to last year's T3, that Trios tournament, so you can watch that. Also, if you have not watched any of the previous TGPW shows, there is a handy-dandy playlist of all TGPW shows, so you can get caught up on all the TGPW shows before you watch this one. With all of that being said, we are kicking things off right here with 2 undefeated teams in TGPW. It is the Detroit Wrestling Connection taking on Hit Row. Detroit Wrestling Connection represented by Koko Ware, the leader of Kayfabe, the People's Band. You can see him in the yellow there. Also represented by the current Open Talk 313, the Flash champion. We saw win that title at our last event, Super Summer Sizzler Spectacular. None other than the big dog, Kayvon Journey. And the third member of the trio, the son of the Macho Man, the illegitimate son of the Macho Man, Randy Savage, Jason Powell. And representing Hit Row, of course, is Ashante, the Adonis, the big man, Top Dolla, and the NXT North American champion, Isaiah Swerve Scott. Again, both of these teams come into this match at 1-0. DWC come in with a win over Tommy Dreamer that is, Eddie Edwards and Neil Carroll's back at Holy Diver. Hit Row also come into this match 1-0 with a win over Drip by Snoo Snoo at Big Boy Summer. We will see Drip by Snoo Snoo later on. Despite their differences, Kayvon and Jason have been able to coexist as a successful team, with Koko Ware being the glue to hold the team together. Kayvon is already the holder of the Open Talk 313 The Flash Championship, as I mentioned earlier. He's looking to add more gold in the TGPW Trios Championship. Hit Row, meanwhile, come out of the gates like game busters, winning their debut match and earning a spot in the tournament in the process. The hottest act in NXT looked to light not just the recording booth on fire, but the TGPW ring as well. Will the Detroit Wrestling Connection extinguish that flame? We'll find out right here. Well, you got the leader of Hit Row in there right now with what some would consider the leader of the DWC and Koko Ware. There's the Koko Buster right there by Koko T. Did he get him? No. Top Dollar there to break it up. Deadlift German. Double team, no. He fights him off. Does Koko T. Koko T with the Bird Buster on Top Dollar. Kayvon and Koko, the double drop kick. DDT on Ashante. Spinning brainbuster by Isaiah Swerve Scott. Ashante shoots him off. Both men collide. Spine buster by Kayvon. The Open Talk champion in there now. Exploder suplex by the big dog. And another. And a third. A trifecta of exploder suplexes has Ashante dazed. Then he takes an elbow right to the face, and then gets caught with a spear. That could be it. 1, 2, and 3. No! 2.9 kick out. Hit Row was late to save their partner. Ashante got the shoulder up at the last second. And then he just runs and hits him with another spear, does Kayvon. But Ashante comes back, hits a shoulder tackle, and makes a much-needed tag to Top Dolla as they hit the double drop kick on the big dog. Kayvon, though, fighting him off. Top Dolla has him up on the shoulders, plants him with a sidewalk slam. But Kayvon back to his feet as Koko's in there now. Koko sends him into the turnbuckle, but he gets caught. Oh, into the spear. Set up perfectly by Jason there. Nice teamwork shown by the team known as Join Them to betray them. There's a stampede. No. Broken up by Jason. The JML driver right there by Isaiah Swerve Scott on Koko T, but he was not the legal man as a side slam on Top Dolla takes him down. There's a headbutt from Koko. Jason Powell, the illegitimate son of the Macho Man, sporting the colors of the Macho Man as he goes up top and hits the elbow drop. But no, Isaiah able to grab the rope, showing his veteran presence of mind, knowing where he is in the ring at all times, able to grab the bottom rope. Look at this, repeated punches by Powell. But Top Dolla puts a stop to that. Top Dolla now fighting off both men. And now trading shots are Kayvon and Top Dolla. Top Dolla to the top. It's the diving headbutt. Both men down. The action has been non-stop since the opening bell here between these two teams. Look at the power on display of the big dog with a power bomb on the big man. And then hits him with a spear coming in. Is that it? No. Isaiah there to save the match for his team and avoid elimination here. Standing switch reversal. Poison Rana on Kayvon. He doesn't know where he is, and he gets a level to a lariat by Top Dolla. Double drop kick by Ashante and Top Dolla. Ashante sends him into the buckle. But a belly-to-belly throw by the big dog. And here comes Powell. But Ashante fights him off. And now, here we go. Slugging it out. But a drop kick by Ashante takes down Powell. Powell with a rake to the eyes. Scooping a slam. Setting him up. Going to the top. Hits the macho elbow perfectly. Is that it? 2 and 3. He got him. The DWC pick up the win. And a spear for good measure on Isaiah Swerve Scott as they are moving on in the tournament. Fight. Match number 2 and the second match in the opening round of that Trios Tournament 2021. And we've got two teams featuring guys that are not strangers to one another, as it's the Thunder Buddies versus the Bullet Club. Thunder Buddies coming together as a trio for the first time, having teamed in an 8-man tag prior with Steve Arndt way back in May. We haven't seen Thunder Rosa since then, as she was literally squashed by the Shockmaster. Thunder Rosa has returned, and she's here to bring the Thunder alongside the Beast God Liger and the Black Metal Saint in corpse paint, Thunderhorse. Liger and Thunderhorse have had their issues in the past with the Grills of Destiny. Liger and Thunderhorse would lose to GOD back in April, but would get a win, an upset win over the Gorillas in the first round of the TGPW Tag Team Title Tournament. That early elimination has not sat well with Tama, Tonga, and Tanga, as they demanded to face the Thunder Buddies in the first round of the tournament. They decided blood is thicker than water and brought in their baby brother in the massive Hikuleo, who's in there now. Will the size advantage be too much for the Thunderbuds to overcome? Or will the legend of Liger, the expertise of Thunder Rosa, and the fighting spirit of Thunderhorse be enough to power the Thunderbuds to victory? And there we see the count is on. I forgot to mention in the first match, but 2 count Lou Tefano is our referee again, as he has finished serving his suspension after his shady antics 2 months ago. But his suspension has been lifted. He has returned to his referee duties. 2 count Lou Tefano, our referee. And you saw the count out. There is a 20 count on the floor in TGPW. As you can advance in the tournament by pinfall, as we saw in the first match, submission, knockout, disqualification, or count out. So those are all the ways that you can advance in the tournament. And here we see Thunder Rosa and the good bad guy, Tonga, in there. Hurricane Rana catches Thunder Rosa right there. Rosa dragging him back towards her corner and makes a tag to the legendary junior heavyweight Jushin Thunder Liger. Liger, multiple-time junior heavyweight champion and multiple-time junior tag team champion, goes for a shote, but Tonga knew it was coming, got out of the way, and tags in his little brother, Hikuleo, but he is anything but little. Massive man with a massive boot, drives it into the face of Liger and gets a 2 count. Liger with a scoop and a slam on the big man. Gets him in the figure 4. Woo! You're probably going to see a lot of figure 4s, I believe, coming up in our next match. Looking at the format here. Indeed it is. Coming up next, we're going to have the Flair family taking on the Rhodes family. So probably going to be a lot of figure 4s in that one. A lot of shotes right here, though. But a lariat turns him inside out. Hikuleo holding his own in there with a legend like Liger, but he gets suplexed out of the ring to the floor. Ooh, what a chop, just knocks down the junior champion legend. Choke bomb by Hikuleo, and a tag is made to the Thunderhorse. Thunderhorse showing off those moves taught to him by Liger with the palm strikes, the repeated palm strikes, otherwise known as the shote. We've seen Thunderhorse compete in singles action recently. But oh, Thunderhorse just collided referee 2 count Lou Tefano, and now all hell is broken loose. There's a brain buster. Again, another move taught to him by Liger. There's a 3D by the brothers, Tangaloa and Hikuleo. But Thunderhorse able to make a tag to Thunder Rosa as he just starched Hikuleo with that elbow. Hikuleo sent into the corner turnbuckle. Thunder Rosa, I think, was trying to get him up maybe to the top rope for a superplex or maybe suplex him. But he was able to counter and suplex Thunder Rosa out of the ring. Basement dropkick by Thunderhorse on Hikuleo. Hikuleo levels Thunder Rosa with a lariat. She's in a whole heap of trouble right now. Sidewalk slam. But no, double underhook suplex by Thunder Rosa. She makes a tag to Thunderhorse. The tag is made to Tonga. Double suplex by the Sons of Haku. Sending Thunderhorse to the outside as the referee 2 count. Lou Tefano gets a count. Magic killer on Liger on the floor. There's a Romero special on Tangaloa. Tonga sent into the ring post. Suplex on Tangaloa. Hikuleo grabbed a chair, brought it into the ring. Tongan twist right there. Goes for a cover. Did he get him? 2 and no. Kick out at 2 by Thunderhorse out of the Tongan twist. We don't see that move too often from Tonga, but he broke it out there. Attempting to get a 3 count. Liger with a tombstone pile driver. Now heads up top. Diving headbutt. Shades of the Dynamite Kid. The tombstone followed by the diving headbutt. Speaking of headbutts, there's one from Tonga to Liger. Hikuleo and Tama with a double back suplex. This is the foot. Liger slams Hikuleo out of the ring, follows him out, rolls back in. It's caught with a DDT. There's the ape shit. The ape shit by Tanga Loa on Thunderhorse. Pendulum backbreaker by Hikuleo. Scooping a slam by Liger, measuring him. And it looks like, yep, here it comes. The Shote. Hikuleo runs right into it. Is that it? 2.9 kick out by Hikuleo. I'm losing my voice here. Hikuleo, the youngest, most inexperienced member of his team, being triple teamed by the Thunderbuds. And now there's a double team power bomb, spiking Hikuleo, and one for his brother as well. As the Thunderbuds are in control here, as Thunder Rosa drops the elbow from the top. Bullet Club in a whole heap of trouble now. And they're throwing bombs here. Tanga Loa drags Thunder Rosa out, but gets caught. Double underhook suplex on the silverback. As he's set for the ride, gets caught with that hooking clothesline. And a tag is made to the good bad guy. Tama gets caught with a flatliner. And then into the Romero special. Is that it? No. Tanga Loa saves the matchup for his team. There's the brainbuster on Hikuleo. And a brainbuster on Tanga Loa. Everyone gets a brainbuster. Thunderbuds like Oprah out here, handing out brainbusters for every member of Bullet Club. And there's one for Tonga. He didn't get left out. Single leg crab. Is that going to be it? Is he going to give up? No. Broken up by Bullet Club there. Oh, went for the gun stun. Did Tonga, but got caught. Super kick caught him on the jaw. Spinning drop kick. Tags on both sides. As Hikuleo is the legal man for his team. Alongside Thunder Rosa, who just hit the Thunder Fire driver. Is that it? No. Thunder Fire driver, but far, far too close to the Bullet Club side of the ring. Choke bomb. Is that it? 2 and 3. Thunderbuds couldn't get there in time, as Bullet Club win the match and advance in the tournament. Here we go, match number 3. I mentioned it earlier. It is the battle of two of wrestling's royal families. Two great wrestling families squaring off in the opening round here. It is the Flair family versus the Rhodes family. Both trios are 1-0 in TGPW, and Dusty is 2-0 overall in TGPW. The win in a tag match as well. The Flairs would defeat the Macho family back at Who Ate Your Cereal. The Rhodes would prove Americana could prevail at Blood Red, White, and Blue over Imperium. There's a long-standing history between the Rhodes and the Flair families, dating back to Dusty and Flair, family patriarch Ric Flair, fighting over the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. The American Dream already scored a win over Flair's Horseman cohorts and Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard. I was back at, this is episode 666. He's looking to beat Flair's offspring next. Of course, Dusty will look to face the Nature Boy himself eventually in TGPW. But first he wants to prove that his kids are better than Rick's kids. Which undefeated team will come out on top in this battle of wrestling royal families? As I mentioned, Charlotte Flair, David Flair, and Reid Flair, they defeated the Macho family as both guys were thinking the same thing, grabbing chairs from under the ring, trying to strike at one another, but Dustin with the first strike on David and grabs another chair and smashes it over the head of David Flair. David Flair grabs another chair as well. Both guys with chairs in their hands, swinging wildly as Dustin, but he can't connect on Charlotte. We've got chairs all over the place. And we're only 5 minutes into this thing, and things have already broken down. Can feel the animosity between these two families, but Charlotte, David, and Reid Flair, as I mentioned earlier, defeating the Macho family, team of Jason Powell, Black Machismo, Jay Lethal, and Bailey. Of course, the Rhodes family represented by the Patriarch, the American Dream, Dustin Rhodes, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and the Natural, Dustin Rhodes. Cody's tagged in. Reid in there with Dusty. Reid and Cody now going at it. Suplex by Reid. Scooping a slam by Reid. Reid going for the figure four early. There it is. Figure four applied. And now a chop. Overhand strike by Cody, and the chops of Reid proved too much for the American Nightmare. He's set up on that top turnbuckle, maybe looking for a superplex. No, countered by Cody. Cody to the top. What's he thinking here? No. Instead, thinks better of it. Runs in with a bicycle in the corner. He got a bicycle. How'd he get a bicycle in this arena? The knee breaker by David Flair as the two brothers go to work on Cody, as Cody tags in his brother Dustin. David Flair, of course, many fans will remember him as part of a trio with Crowbar and the late Daphne. R.I.P. to Daphne. Look at this. The Charlotte's Web on Dustin gets a 1 count only, though. Don't see that too often. And look at this. David Flair biting the man. And I believe, yep, Dustin has been busted open. If you were taking prop bets on how long it would take for Dustin to be busted open, well, 11 minutes and about 40 seconds is where you would be. Spinning sit-out power bomb by Charlotte Flair, showing off her strength there. I think there was also a prop bet on which Rhodes would be the first to bleed, and if you had Dustin, you win the pot. There's a figure four by Dusty on Charlotte, and David Flair decides he's going to headbang before he heads to the top, drops an elbow right on the back of the American Dream, who gets leveled to the clothesline. Tag is made to his youngest son, Cody. There's a magic killer and a figure four by Cody, paying back David Flair. Cody paying back David Flair from earlier. Sets him up, hits the Din's fire. Hooks the leg, is that it? 2, and no. Charlotte there to save her brother. You don't see the Din's fire too often from Cody, but he was able to hit it that time. But gets a 2 count before it's broken up by Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair a record setting, you would say, women's champion. She's a 6-time Raw Women's Champion, a 5-time SmackDown Women's Champion, also held the Divas title. And then she was also a 2-time NXT Women's Champion, so 14-time Women's Champion is Charlotte Flair. Of course, WWE only recognizing 12 of those 14 titles, as they apparently do not recognize the NXT Women's Championship reigns of Charlotte Flair anymore. There's why the Flairs are the dirtiest players in the game. Mule kick on Dustin. Rhodes caught him right in the gold dusts. Yes, I laughed at my own joke. Indian deathlock by Cody. Is he going to get Reid to tap out here? We haven't seen a submission victory yet in this tournament. Super kick by Cody, but a lariat by Reid takes down Cody, and there's the famous Flair flop. Brother and sister duo with the double suplex sends Cody out of the ring as David Flair hits a chair shot to the head of Cody. But Charlotte completely whiffs on a moonsault. There's a table out there, a broken piece of table at least. As David Flair's going nuts now. He is the loose cannon of the Flair family, that's for sure. As Dustin is in there with Charlotte. Dusty with a DDT on David as Cody avoids the count out there. Able to roll back in for the 20 count. There are chairs all over the place. Blood all over the mat. There's even a broken piece of table. Absolute bedlam here. As Dustin and Charlotte battling on the outside of the ring. Charlotte gets back in the ring though. Dusty locks on a sleeper. Is that it? Is Charlotte gonna give up? No. Charlotte able to escape. Double suplex by the Blood Brothers, Cody and Dustin on David Flair. Dusty Rhodes telling us exactly what he thinks about the Flairs. Spike powerbomb by David and Charlotte. Suplex by David. Dusty in some trouble here as he makes a tag to Cody. Cody got hit right in the cojones. And now David biting the man. But Cody there to save his father. Looking him up. Din's fire connects again. Is that it? 1, 2, and no. Big time kick out by David Flair. I don't think Charlotte was there to break it up. But Charlotte's got a figure 4 and now into the figure 8 on Dusty. Dusty trapped in the figure 8. But on the other side, the crossroads on David Flair. Is that it? 2 and 3. No. Again broken up. I thought that was it. Standing switch reversal, but a mule kick by David Flair. David Flair sends him off the ropes and just chokes the man. Just a blatant choke here. He's got till 5, risking disqualification as David Flair. But he gets hit with another crossroads. Just spiked his head into the canvas. Is that it? No. Charlotte there to save the match. Bulldog on Reid Flair. Cody is just in Flair country right now, fighting his way out. Making a tag to the American Dream. There's a magic killer on David Flair. But into the figure 8 goes Charlotte. Dusty, the European uppercut, the chop from Charlotte. Back and forth they go. Rolling elbow by Dusty, but a big boot by Charlotte takes down the American Dream. Tries to go for a powerbomb, maybe a pile driver. No, countered into a back body drop. into the figure 8. Is that it? Dusty gives up. Dusty taps out. Cody can't get there to save his father as the Flairs advance in the tournament. Match number 4 in the opening round of TGPW That Trios Tournament 2021 to determine not only That Trios Tournament 2021 winners, but the first ever TGPW Trios Champions. It is Strong Hearts versus the Elite, the Strong Hearts team of Shima, El Lindemann, and Shigehiro Irie against the Elite, the team of Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson. These two teams met in last year's semifinals of the T3 That Trios Tournament 2020, with Strong Hearts obviously coming out the victors, as the team of Shima, El Lindemann, and Shigehiro Irie would then go on to defeat Suzuki-gun in the finals to become the 2020 T3 champions. They look to not only defend their crown, but to walk away as TGPW Trios champions this time. Can Strong Hearts repeat and prove once again they're the best trio? We haven't seen Omega in TGPW since his loss to Arrow Boy back in June at a number 1 contenders match. The Young Bucks, meanwhile, would make it to the quarterfinals of the TGPW Tag Team Title Tournament before losing in an upset to Fishmock, Steve Aaron, and John Moxley. They would bounce back, however, with a win over Kayvon Journey and Roman Reigns at This Is Episode 666. Can the Elite even the score against the Strong Hearts? And right off the bat, a BTE trigger on El Lindemann, but Shima is there to break it up, and Shima has already been busted wide open, as you can see. The winners of this match will go on to face the Flair family, who we just saw defeat the Rhodes, as Charlotte Flair got the submission victory over the American Dream Dusty Rhodes with the figure 8. Hurricane Rana by Nick Jackson. And Shigehiro Irie is in there now, the powerhouse of his team. Double suplex by Shima and Shigehiro. You can see the blood of Shima all over his face and his chest as a tag is made to Matt Jackson. Repeated punches to Shigehiro. Arm wringer into the waist lock, into the double axe. Shigehiro just sits on the chest of Nick Jackson. But a snap suplex by Nick. Sorry, sits on the chest of Matt Jackson. A snap suplex by Matt Jackson. It's a 1 count only. There's a knuckle arrow. But a suplex by Shigehiro sends Matt all the way to the floor, as El Lindemann is there to greet him. Nick Jackson in the ring with Shigehiro. Shigehiro went for a flying shoulder tackle but missed. Snap mare on Nick Jackson. Meanwhile, double dropkick by Shima and El Lindemann on Matt Jackson on the outside. Matt gets caught with a Schwinn on the floor by Shima. As 2 count Lou continues his count. He's got to get back in the ring. 18. He just avoids a count out as Nick Jackson hits a super kick on El Lindemann. Kenny is in there as well. Series of clotheslines here. Into the buckle he goes, and a tag is made finally to Kenny Omega. Shigehiro fights him off, tags in the bloody Shima. There's a J Driller on Shigehiro as Shima. A bloody Shima and Kenny Omega, the best bout machine going at it. These two fought each other at Fight for the Fallen 2019 in Jacksonville. A match in which Kenny Omega was victorious, but he gets caught here in this Cobra type hold. I think it's a Viper lock maybe. But Nick Jackson there to save his BFF. Kenny with a pendulum backbreaker, and now just bending Shima in half over his knee. The Young Bucks mocking the crowd right now. But a DVD by Shigeru on Matt Jackson rather. It was Nick Jackson. It's a super kick on Shima. Schoolboy roll up. No. Shigeru there to save him. Sliding D by Shigeru as El Lindemann gets caught with a snapmare. Nick Jackson with a German. Sends Shima into the buckle, ties him up in the Tree of Woe, and now stomping away at the bloody Shima as his blood is staining the corner of the ring. But catches Nick Jackson with that move. But Kenny right there to break it up and hits a vicious V-trigger to the face of an already busted open Shima. Double drop kick by Shigeru and Shima. Standing switch reversal, caught him with an elbow. Nick Jackson tags in Kenny. Caught him with that side kick. Sent into the corner, turnbuckle. And now Shigeru caught in the Tree of Woe. But Shigeru sends Kenny into the turnbuckle. Goes up top. Hits the diving splash on Kenny Omega. Did he get him? No. Kenny out at 2. Package pile driver on Kenny Omega. Is that it? No. 2.9 kick out by Kenny Omega. He just avoids elimination there. Series. Oh, pumping bomber. Just destroyed Kenny Omega right there. And another 2.9 kick out by the best bout machine. Kenny makes a tag to Matt Jackson, the older of the Jackson brothers, the eldest Jackson brother. You'll forget there are actually 3 Jacksons. Well, 3 Jackson brothers, but actually 4 Jackson siblings, as they also have a sister, who I believe at one point was also a wrestler, but their other brother, Malachi Jackson, also a former professional wrestler. It's a chop block on El Lindemann, but a Northern Lights suplex with a bridge by El Lindemann, but Matt Jackson able to get to the rope. Package pile driver on Matt Jackson as Nick Jackson and El Lindemann going at it on the outside. Shigeru and Omega have paired off as Shima gets hit with repeated Northern Lights suplexes by Matt Jackson. Super kick by Nick Jackson on the outside and El Lindemann as they continue to brawl. 2 count Lou up to 15, 16, no. El Lindemann back in. Avoiding the count out there. Deadlift German. Folded him in half. Matt in a lot of trouble as he makes a wise tag to his brother Nick. The Bucks considered one of the GOATs, one of the greatest tag teams of all time. Black hole slam, sliding D. Shigeru on fire right now. A standing switch into the backstabber by Nick Jackson. And here we go. A strike exchange between these two. Who's going to get the better of it? A super kick by Nick Jackson takes down Shigeru. Takes out the leg. Does Nick Jackson. Shigeru comes back with an elbow. Catches him with a Samoan drop. I think he was calling for another pumping bomber, but no, instead tags out to El Lindemann. El Lindemann cross arm breaker, and that's it. Kenny Omega can't get there in time. Kenny Omega just late saving Nick Jackson. Nick Jackson having to tap out. Match 5. TGPW that Trios Tournament 2021 opening round sees the Circus of Slime taking on the Best Friends. The win-loss record for the Circus of Slime and TGPW has been less than stellar. They're 0-1 as a unit in trios and 0-2 in 8-man tags. TGPW, team of El Jefe, El Gran Blanco Presentadora, and Crooked Tortuga are also 2-2 in tag team matches. Pagano, who's in there now, is making his TGPW debut and his first appearance as a member of the Circus of Slime. With the insane clown posse busy elsewhere, Gran Blanco found another loco payaso to take their place in Pagano. No one knows exactly what has motivated Pagano to join up with Gran Blanco, but chances are it has to do with El Jefe's deep pockets. We've seen him buy the services of Michael Brennan, formerly known as the Amazing Turtle, who's in there now, while also paying off 2-Count Lou, who is also the referee of this match right now, to advance in the TGPW Tag Team Title Tournament. Pagano may have a screw loose, but he surely loves money like everyone else. He is the definite joker card in this match and the trio. Opposite of them, of course, is the trio of the best friends: Chuck Taylor, Orange Cassidy, and Trent Beretta. We last saw the best friends, TGPW, an 8-man tag where they pick up a win over the best friends of other best friends back in April. Orange Cassidy will look to throw Gran Blanco and Brennan off their game with his offbeat antics. Things will get really interesting, though, if Pagano and Orange Cassidy get in the ring together. And we can see Pagano and Orange Cassidy on the outside of the ring together as the crowd is just booing the hell out of Tortuga here. As Orange Cassidy gets back in the ring, avoids a countout. And a tag is made to Chuck Taylor. And now a fork. Pagano. I don't know how he got that in here. But Pagano with a fork on Chuck Taylor's forehead, busting him wide open. I told you this guy was nuts. Sliding dropkick by Chuck as Trent, question mark, is in there with El Gran Blanco Presentadora. Now he's trying to get Trent disqualified, but Trent will have nothing of that. He's like, what the hell are you trying to pull here, pal? Pally? Buddy boy? Double clothesline by the Crooked Tortuga and Gran Blanco. The crowd hate these guys, and rightfully so. And the crowd boos, showing their disapproval for the Circus of Slime here, and who can blame them? Nobody likes these guys. I don't even think their own mothers like these guys. Orange Cassidy just stands in the middle of the carnage with his hands in his pockets. He is cooler than the other side of the pillow, let me tell you. Double dropkick by Trent, question mark, and Orange Cassidy. Brennan levels Orange with a clothesline, makes a tag to Gran Blanco. Gran Blanco representing his home country of Guatemala with those tights that he wears. That was a arm drag with his hands in his pockets, by the way. What is this? Doomsday drop kick by the best friends. Wow, showing off their tandem offense. Falcon Arrow, he did the deal. Did he get him? No. Gran Blanco's foot on the bottom rope. Showing off all those years of experience in Guatemala. Proving why he's known as El Jefe of the Circus of Slime as he gets caught with a drop kick coming off the ropes by Sexy Chucky T. Orange Cassidy thrown to the outside. As Gran Blanco taunts the crowd. The crunchy by Trent on Pagano on the inside of the ring as Brennan and Orange Cassidy brawling on the outside. Orange gets suplexed. Brennan back in as Orange Cassidy back in and avoiding the count out. The tiaras by Pagano on Orange Cassidy as a tag is made to Brennan. Brennan cutting off Orange Cassidy, then he's just biting the man. Michinoku driver on Brennan. Brennan with the brass knuckles, but Orange Cassidy there to save Chuck. We're taking a shot for those brass knuckles. So we've seen a fork, we've seen a brass knuckle, pair of brass knuckles. Circus of Slime able to sneak weapons into this ring. Did 2 Count Lou even bother to check these guys for weapons? I mean, seriously. There's a soul food on Crooked Tortuga. Look at this, the Mexican stretch here. But Chuck in the ropes as that forces a break. Super kick by Chuck, but a lariat by Gran Blanco takes him down. And bloody Chuck tags in his best friend Trent. And now he's just laughing at them, laughing in the face of Orange Cassidy, by the way. Into that Mexican stretch again. Did he get him? No. Orange Cassidy breaks it up. There's the stun dog millionaire on Pagano. Orange Cassidy stunning him. As it looks like Trent's the legal man as he gets caught again in that submission. Can Chuck get there? No, he's cut off by the Circus, but he fights him off. Chuck boots Gran Blanco in the midsection and tags in Orange Cassidy as he hits the crunchy. Orange Cassidy shoots him off. I thought maybe he was looking for the orange punch, but no. Now he may go for it, but no. Gran Blanco avoids it and wisely tags out. And here we go, Pagano and Orange Cassidy, the legal men. Snapmare by Orange. Orange drives his knees into the mat. And now we go, here we go, these two slugging it out here. And the hands in the pockets. Oh! Orange punch out of nowhere, but Pagano comes firing back with a drop kick and kicks him right in the ding-ding. No! Reversal. You know, a back body drop by Orange Cassidy. German suplex by Trent. Inseguri right there by Trent as he makes a tag to Orange Cassidy. Drop kick sends Trent tumbling out of the ring, and look at this. Oh, vicious kicks, but a super kick stuns him. but Tortuga comes back with an arm drag, but it looks like he may be hurt. And now he's just choking him. But Chuck there to save Orange Cassidy from further injury, as you can't get a submission off of that, as that's an illegal hold. Power bomb plants him, and another kick to Orange Cassidy's, testicles. Leg drop by Pagano. Pagano shoots him off, hits a drop kick. Snapmare though by Orange Cassidy. He tags out the Chuck. Vicious kicks. Oh, a super kick stuns him. But Chuck rocked right into the enemy territory. Gets caught in the corner, but back elbows Tortuga off the apron as Blanco is tagged in. Pagano shoots Blanco into the corner. Hip attack. And another. Blanco using his size to his advantage here. Dominating Chuck Taylor right now. But both men collide as they bonk heads. Both back to their feet. No one seems to get an advantage here. Tag is made to Trent. Winding up for that lariat. He got him. The buckle he goes. Chopping away at the chest of Gran Blanco in the corner. Repeated uppercuts. The crowd booing Gran Blanco, and now he just sits on his chest. And now broken up by the best friends. Spike power bomb. Huh, my mic isn't on. I wonder how long that was. Wonder how long my mic was off here, but we got Queen's Quest here. I get stripped by Snoo Snoo. Utami Hayashishita, Momo Watanabe, and Azume. We saw another Azume make a run in. And it's not the first time we've seen multiple versions of the same person here in TGPW. Golden trigger on Camille. Tommy tags out to Momo. And another golden trigger on Camille. But we've already seen multiple versions of Kijimucho, at least 4 of them. So, it's the first time we've seen 2 Azumis. Camille tags out to Jade. These two, known as a tag team, Death by Snoo Snoo in TGPW. And that's it. The guillotine choke by Momo Watanabe. Jade Cargill taps out. Queen's Quest is moving on. We are on to our semi-final match of the evening, match number 7 in the TGPW That Trios Tournament 2021 opening round. It is the Gun Club taking on the Second Gear Crew. Both of these teams are making their TGPW debuts in the tournament. The Gun Club, made up of tag team wrestling legend Billy Gunn and his sons Austin and Colton, are proof that there's strength in family. The Gun Club have been unbeaten as a trio in AEW, even though they're not related by blood. The Second Gear Crew are as close as brothers. The SGC are represented by Mass Warner, One Called Manners, and Matthew Justice. The other 2 members of SGC have appeared in TGPW in the past in AJ Gray and Effie. They call themselves the Second Gear Crew because they operate on another level apart from everybody else. Manders and Justice have proven to be a formidable team in AAW as their former tag team champions there. Mance Warner and Justice, meanwhile, are the current GCW tag team champions. This particular team of SGC is 3-1 in trios matches in pro wrestling. It doesn't matter the combination of members of SGC. It is, though. We're all tough as nails, ready for a fight and to drink beer and party afterwards. With all 5 members of SGC now appearing in TGPW. Will they begin their takeover? And like I mentioned, this is match number 7 of 8 of the semifinal match in the opening round of the tournament, semifinal match of this show. As Austin Gunn is in there with the big corn belt cowboy, One Call Manders, former Iowa Buckeye. Sorry, did I say Buckeye? Former Iowa Hawkeye. Buckeyes is Ohio State. Apologies to all of the college football fans out there. Former Iowa Hawkeye is Steve Manders. Steve Manders also playing football at Iowa. With George Kittle. George Kittle, again, a graduate of the University of Iowa. He is a tight end for the San Francisco 49ers in the NFL. But George Kittle, also a professional wrestling fan, but also roommates at the University of Iowa with one called Manders. One called Manders also graduated from the Black and Brave Wrestling Academy, as he was trained by Merrick Brave and Seth Rollins, aka Tyler Black. And there we see Manders and Manser suplexing Billy Gunn out of the ring. Manders flies off the top with a diving elbow drop. Billy Gunn's resume speaks for itself, but originally was going to be a rodeo guy, competing in rodeos. And I believe went to college for that, but then decided to get into professional wrestling instead. There you see Colton Gunn, the oldest of the Gunn brothers, as Colton sends one called Manders out of the ring. Matthew Justice with a backdrop driver on Colton. Matthew Justice, formerly under a WWE developmental contract before being released from the company, competes mainly in Ohio for Absolute Intense Wrestling AIW, where he is a double champion there. And, fun fact, he is managed. Oh, wait a minute, right there's the famouser, that could be it. 1, 2, and no! 2.9 kick out, almost over right there. Matthew Justice just kicking out. But fun fact, Matthew Justice managed by referee, former referee I guess, but referee in TGPW still, Bill Alfonso, the manager of Champions, managing Sabu, Rob Van Dam, Taz. Matthew Justice, managed by Bill Alfonso in AIW. There's the Sidewinder by Billy. Yarn Dragon to the neckbreaker. I believe Billy actually innovating that move. A pendulum backbreaker by Mance Warner. Again into the Sidewinder by Billy. So he makes the tag to Colton. He's got him up in an electric chair, but instead just, I don't know. It's a miscommunication there from the Gunn family there. I don't know what they were thinking there, but Colton stealing Manser's move there with a DDT. But the fans are, I believe they're booing Mance Warner here for some reason. Poke to the eyes and a chop from the eye poke god. And a headbutt, just straight headbutt to Colton. Colton clotheslines Mance in the corner, but gets caught with another eye poke. Tag made back to the core belt cowboy. As the patriarch of the family, Billy Gunn, tagged back in. Billy Gunn, like I said, resume speaks for itself. Teaming with his quote-unquote brother, Bart Gunn, in the WWF as the Smoking Guns, where they were tag team champions. But then end up teaming up with the Road Dogg, probably his most famous team, as the New Age Outlaws. And they would also win the tag team titles. He would win the tag team titles again with Chuck Palumbo as the team of Billy and Chuck. He and Road Dogg, of course, would team up again in TNA as the Voodoo Kid Mafia and the James Gang. The Voodoo Kid Mafia. Oh man, those were the days, certainly. Oh, Mance Warner and Billy Gunn just conked heads right there. Colton is in a bad, bad way right now. He's on the wrong side of town. Lance Warder grabs a chair, but Colton slams him down. Repeated punches to the head of Mance, and more punches now. And now Manser fires back with punches of his own. A lot of punches being thrown in this match by both of these teams. Double team suplex by the SGC. There's the youngest brother, Austin Gunn, in there. The son of a gun. Hip toss on the big man Manders. Turns Manders inside out with that lariat. Again, I want to apologize earlier for a previous match. There's a Faymaster. I didn't realize that my microphone was off. 2 and 3. He got him. The Gun Club stay unbeaten as they knock off the SGC. Austin Gunn with the pin on one called Manders. And here we are with our 8th and final match, the main event of the evening, and our final match in the opening round of TGPW That Trios Tournament 2021. A tournament to crown the first ever TGPW Trios Champions. And it is Fish Sticks and Friends versus the Alliance to end Steve. As the beginning of TGPW, we've seen there are forces at work that have been against the leader of Fish Sticks Mania, Steve Aaron. It started with Ken Shamrock in a steel cage at our inaugural event, Guerrilla Warfare. It snowballed since then. A literal alliance against Steve was formed, led, so we thought, by the evil genius Aaron Xavier. Xavier would throw many obstacles Fish Sticks' way, including Leo Rush, Nyla Rhodes, Nyla Jax, Nia Jax, Cypher, and even the Shockmaster. Aaron would overcome the odds and get his one-on-one match with Xavier in a steel cage at My Own Summer in June. However, thanks to some shady officiating from referee 2-Count Luke Tefano, Xavier was victorious. Wasn't over from there as Xavier unveiled new members of TATAS and CNC Destruction, Cody James and Chris Miller, and Metalhead. Not only that, but he unveiled the true mastermind behind the alliance to end Steve, the one and only Windy City AC, Antoine Clemens. The terrorizing trio of CNC and Metalhead would attack Aaron on 2 separate occasions. Despite the rib injury, Steve would still compete in the TGPW Tag Team Title Tournament with partner John Moxley, making it all the way to the finals before losing to the Road Warriors. Now, Aaron enters the Trios Tournament with the goal of not only winning the titles, but getting a measure of revenge on TATES with Moxley looking to settle the score elsewhere on the card. Aaron had to look outside TGPW to find a pair he could trust in a team in the tournament. Aaron would end up selecting CSW sensation and star on the rise in Sky Blue and fellow CSW rising star Axel Rico as his partners. Steve was hoping their youthful exuberance will lead them to victory. However, they'll be giving up a lot of size and experience on the other end. Lance's goal is simple: take out Aaron and eliminate him from the tournament. They take pleasure in making Steve's life a living hell and inflicting as much punishment as possible. Winning the tournament in the Trios Championship is just the icing on the cake. And we have seen Sky Blue compete in the NWA, in AEW, in AAW, in GCW, and in other promotions throughout the country. This is the first time we're seeing Sky Blue in TGPW along with Axel Rico as well. Double chokeslam by Metalhead and Chris Miller. Metalhead, a wild man, just choking Sky Blue. And now, like I said, we have seen Chris Miller, Cody James, and Metalhead in TGPW before, but never in an actual match. Hurricane Rana into the pin. Gets a 1 count, does Axel Rico. Sharpshooter by Chris Miller. But Steve Arrett there to break it up. Sky Blue off the ropes. Running basement drop kick catches Chris Miller in the face. Miller goes behind, hits a low blow on Axel Rico, but Rico rolls him up. 1, just a 1 count. But yeah, this is the actual debut match for this team of CNC Destruction and Metalhead. Another low blow caught Axel Rico. But Sky Blue there to save the matchup for her team. And there's a spin-a-rooney by Axel Rico. Rico, the running leg lariat. He tags in Steve Arrett. Cody James in there now, the big man of his team. Yeah, we've seen them run in twice. This is their first match. Moonsault off the top by Rico on Cody James. Discus lariat by Cody. Did he get him? 2 and no. Big kick out by Aaron. Steve in a whole heap of trouble right now. Discus lariat again. Is that it? 2 and 3. He got him. The Alliance to end Steve pick up the win over Fish Sticks and Friends. And that's it. Cody James, Chris Miller, and Metalhead victorious over Steve Arrett, Sky Blue, and Axel Rico as Cody James pins Arrett after the rolling lariat in 13:42. And despite the odds being even, CNC Destruction and Metalhead proving without the element of surprise, without the numbers game to their advantage, they still pick up a dominant victory over Fish Sticks and Friends, as we haven't seen Steve get pinned in TGPW in a very long time. I think you have to go back to our first show where he got caught by surprise by Ken Shamrock in a pin. Although he might have been pinned by Kenny Omega in the tournament, so maybe. But even then, that was April. So it's been a while since he's been pinned. We know he had that shady loss to Xavier where 2-count Lou Tufano called for a submission when there wasn't one, awarding the victory to Xavier. But Steve Arrett getting pinned here by Cody James after a lariat, rolling lariat, gets the 3 count. Well, the size and the power of the Alliance to end Steve proving to be too much here tonight, as the Alliance to end Steve win the match and advance into the quarterfinals of the tournament. And we now know what our matchups will be for night 2 of the tournament. In the quarterfinals, we will see the Detroit Wrestling Connection versus Bullet Club, the Flair family versus Strong Hearts, Circus of Slime versus Queen's Quest, and Gun Club versus the Alliance to end Steve. Also, in addition to the quarterfinal matchups on night 2, we will see Bad Old JR, Jim Ross, take on the American Wolf, Davey Richards, in a singles contest. Also in a non-title match with special referee Bill Alfonso, TGPW Tag Team Champions, the Road Warriors, Rotor Hawk, and Animal will take on the team of Wealth and Influence, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, and the Boss, Sasha Banks. And in a no disqualification match, it will be Jon Moxley versus Tommy Dreamer. Those are your matchups for night 2 of T3, that Trios Tournament 2021. So the 4 quarterfinal matchups and 3 bonus matches, including a no disqualification matchup between Jon Moxley and Tommy Dreamer. All of that coming your way in the very near future. To get notified when the next episode of TGPW That Trios Tournament 2021 drops, when the next episode of TGPW in general drops, make sure you hit that bell icon below the video and get to activate notifications and make sure you are notified when the next episode goes up. So with all of that being said, thank you so much for watching. Again, if you could like the video, comment on it, subscribe to the channel, that would be great. Share the video as well, so we want to get the word out on TGPW. The Gorilla Position Wrestling, the most unprofessional professional wrestling in Fire Pro Wrestling. And I am the Swink, and I will see you guys next time.